What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerdcastle for the next episode of the Dwarves. In the previous episode, we had made some homies, we had found our people, we had run off and we had stabbed some orcs and made some money and met some traders. And I've been thinking about it like, did they seriously make an event for every single city just in case you walked on top of it and the orc horde was there? Because like I could have completely and totally skipped that, or like the orc horde could have attacked this place instead. And so, like, did they actually seriously go through and make an event for every single location where the orc tile is on top of it, and then you just got to solve, and then they also did voice acting and everything? It boggles the mind. So far, the game appears to have a lot of really, like, loving care put into it. In all honesty, it feels as though they really added some things to make the game a lot more enjoyable. As far as for right now, there's some kind of event happening there, some kind of event happening there. But for the moment, I'm thinking, wow, this is a big-ass map. This map is enormous. And my assumption is that we actually are going to travel the whole thing. Maybe it's done by chapters, so like you spend chapter 1 here, like chapter 2 over here, you know what I mean? But still, pretty big map. Let's go up to Blacksaddle. In the previous episodes, we've been given a task by our master to find and give a guy some stuff who was over here. We have like a bag.
After a march through the thick pine forest, Blacksaddle, the sinister tabletop mountain, and your journey's destination rises up before you.
Are you sure that the Famulus lives here?
Yes, according to Lot Yonan.
Although you try to put a lot of assurance into your voice, you too see no signs that anyone lives here.
No castle, no tunnel, no camp. There's nothing here but mountain.
Then we'll have to take a closer look.
You do that, scholar. We'll be waiting for you here.
You think about objecting, but it would just be a waste of breath.
Well, considering the other guy's a wizard, my guess is that chances are the other guy's a wizard. Chances are there's an illusion spell here.
A hidden camp? A secret doorway? Gold?
No. Not yet.
Alright. Well, let's have a look about.
Even the dark evergreen forest seems to be afraid of the Black Mountain.
That's racist. Let's go over this way and... I don't see anything in here, although with this thick-ass fog, it might be difficult. I love the taste of fog, though. Like, when it's hella foggy, I'm looking forward to it. I found a new place that I'm going to be moving to pretty soon, and it's out by, like, the Delta. It's not out by the Pacific Ocean, but it's got, like, Delta land from the ocean running over it, and it should be nice to live next to the water for a little bit. I suppose we'll just... Man. You see where the dam... I don't know if there's a cave or what there's supposed to be over here. But there's got to be some kind of illusion or other thing going on.
Found anything?
No.
Not you. Sorry, I was going to talk to your brother. Oh, the twins talk as a group. Okay. Never mind. They have the same dialogue regardless of who you click. Okay, that's cool. I don't see any paths that lead through the brush.
An old tree. Looks like it could fall down at any moment.
Yeah, knock the tree down. Cool. Well, at least the fog's a little bit thinner up here. We've got a rock face.
I should be able to get up here.
Them short-ass dwarf legs, though. I don't think that climbing is like one of those things that they're really good at.
That was close.
Yeah, keep it going.
This is all worth it.
I mean, we have no choice. I got to do my duty to Lot Yonan over here, so... We were given a job. We should probably try to complete it. I don't think of dwarves as being quitters. So neither should we be.
There's something engraved on it.
You realize with surprise that they are runes in the Dwarven language.
Built with the blood of our enemies, be unyielding as the rock, and soak the land in their blood.
Hey! Bello.
Hello?
We appear to have found our way inside. Looks like some kind of tomb. That's definitely a sarcophagus in the middle. This is one of those times where I really feel like we probably should have brought the homies with us. I wonder if my dark vision's working, because honestly, it's kind of dark in here. It's definitely one of those areas where I'd be like, no, I have dark vision if the GM tried to say I couldn't see.
Lot Yonan sent me to bring some items back to you. My inquiries are almost at an end. That means I can finally go to be with my sunshine. I have never been to Glade, but I think I will like it there. I deposited my most valuable things in the grave of Horengarth before my departure and secured it with magic. The password is...
You recognize the following words as rune names, but they're written in the learned language, so you don't know which they are.
Glade. Oh, great.
Well, we've got a lamp.
You see sketches and notes on the architectural features, statues and wall reliefs. It seems Garen spent a lot of time studying this place.
Maybe he's kind of a dwarf historian, or maybe he's just a treasure hunter.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. This ain't lining up so great.
Hello? Is anyone there?
I bet somebody's there.
Born of stone, forged in battle. Arise, reborn from the blood of the enemy.
You're not sure if you really want to know what was once in this basin. The whole place gives you the feeling that a decent dwarf shouldn't hang around too long.
How do you know my history of indecency? There's no way for you to know that.
Sarcophagus. Perhaps I could open it.
Maybe. But how many runes are there?
Graves. Could be buried here.
There's 4 runes.
A rune. Clearly magical.
Oh, something bad's gonna happen when I do this. Don't I know it? Oh, I think you gotta get them in the right order, otherwise they delight. So this one stays lit. Let's try this one next. We'll space it out the best we can. So it's got to be this one, then this one, and then we just got to pick through it, I think. It's got to be like an order of iteration deal. Unless it works completely differently than I think it does. No, it works pretty much the way I thought it would. Damn, we murdered it. So it should be bing, 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 bing. Bing. This episode brought to you by Bing, the browser of choice for those who like to watch porn previews, I guess. You know this thing's gonna have like a Deathlord skeleton inside of it, though. Loot?
That's it.
Oh, this is bad.
Goren's most valuable belongings. Letters from his lover, a silk scarf that must have belonged to her, and a medallion.
Kind of a dick move, stealing his necklace, but hey, you leave your chain laying out and this is what happens. Grants 1 extra action point every 5 seconds during battle. So that actually seems like a good one for him because I'm always spamming his little Blade Storm thing because it kicks a lot of ass. It's a really good ability. Let's leave the secret fortress and go to Greenwall or whatever the hell the name of that place was. Maybe we'll pick some fights along the way too. Back down the mountain we go.
Here's a... No, forget it.
Guess there's nothing back there. Climb down. I was a little bit worried about it because the door opened and I was like, oh my god, we're going to miss out on like extra treasure that's up on the ledge. But there was no extra treasure on the ledge. We have now climbed down. Let's go ahead and talk to our compatriots. You know, we have that big-ass knife, but we never use it for anything. What's the point in having a knife if you ain't going to use it? Gotta have a knife.
So, Scholar, what are the results of your inquiries?
There's an abandoned fortress in the mountain, and I think it belonged to the Thirdlings.
Boindill's eyes narrow.
The blasted dwarf killers!
A thirdling fortress? Here? In the middle of Girdlegard? We must let High King Gundrabur know about this.
The fortress has been long abandoned by the looks of it. Anyway, I can't go to Ogre's death until I have completed my quest. Goren is in Glade.
Huh.
A Thirdling fortress? Here, in the heart of Girdlegard. That's strange, isn't it?
And worrying. But they've always been wily. They move in the shadows and kill there too if they can. Do you know their story?
I've read about it. Lorenberg, their progenitor, rejected the name that Vrakas gave him, who in turn did not give him any special talent, so his kingdom studied war.
It helps them defending the East, but it also meant they ended up confronting the other kingdoms. No dwarf would ever even think of injuring one of his kind, never mind killing them. But the dwarf killers are proud of it. When they were even more powerful, they wanted to become the rulers of all dwarves. They are envious of our skills. They haven't been heard of for a long time, but you can be sure there isn't a single dwarf alive who doesn't hate them.
The High King? Why do you want to bring me to him?
All right then. It's about the choice of the new High King. Gandagar, the king of the Fourthlings, is with his entourage in Ogre's death and is supposed to ascend the throne.
But our acting High King Gundrabur wants to prevent that from happening. He fears that Gandagar wishes to instigate a war against the elves.
But what have I got to do with that?
Boindill is about to say something, but is silenced by a nudge in the side from his brother.
High King Gundrabur will explain everything when the time comes.
You look distrustfully from one twin to the other. Boindill has donned an innocent expression, and Boendal doesn't give you the impression that he has anything else to say on the matter.
What does this King Gandagar have against the elves?
Dwarves and elves just don't get along. Vrakas and Satalia made us that way.
I know that, but going to war? For just that, after all this time?
Well, there must be more behind it. They say that the king of the Fourthlings is full of hatred and is a hothead in this matter.
Whatever, your High King must wait. I have a quest to carry out in Glade.
But our quest is...
Boindill raises a placatory hand and throws his rucksack onto his back in preparation.
Let it be, dear brother. Look at him. He has made his decision, and you will not be able to change his stubborn dwarven mind.
You can't help but smile.
Damn right you won't be able to. I am the epitome, the epitome of all things dwarfy. Oh, cool. I leveled up again, too. That's pretty dwarfy. Dwarves love leveling up. It's one of their favorite activities. And I don't think I get anything cool until, like, even levels or something like that, so let's walk back to Green Glade. Is that Green Glade right there? That's Fallowston. Oh, Green Glade's way the hell up there. Damn, he went on a trip. That guy, like, went on his way.
There are dead orcs lying in the defensive trenches and strewn over the meadows in front of the city. Some of the locals are busy throwing the bodies on pyres, while others repair the minor damage done to the city wall.
I guess we go into Steepletown?
You enter the city and the garrison at its centre without being spoken to. It is only when you reach a heavy oak door that leads, you assume, to the commanding officer's headquarters, that you are halted by a guard.
Dwarves, eh? Seems we aren't to be spared anything these days. What do you want?
I'd like to speak with your commander?
I must speak with your commander.
Commander Valor doesn't have time. He's still very busy dealing with the aftermath of the orc attack.
I have orc information?
Commander Valor is dealing with the orc problem, and I have important information concerning it. I witnessed a meeting of the orc lords.
The guard eyes you with interest and tries to judge whether you can be trusted. Finally, he stands up, opens a door, and enters the room ahead of you. The commander looks up from his work. The guard repeats what you told him.
Your information about the orcs could be useful. We have fought them back, but not yet defeated them. Come in.
The commander listens attentively, and now and then asks questions, as you tell him about the 3 orc armies and the meeting of the chieftains with the Alf Sintharas.
This sounds very grave. I will send out messengers. We must be prepared.
The orc army that attacked you was able to escape.
What was left of it? They headed south. Unfortunately, I can't send anyone after them until the damage to the wall is repaired.
To the south. Towards Scalebrook, perhaps. We defeated an army of orcs down there. It wasn't an easy fight, but they'd already taken a bit of a beating. By Steepleton's soldiers, I assume.
The commander looks at you and seems torn for a moment. Then he pulls himself together.
Perhaps you didn't know, but the administration had a bounty on the heads of that horde of orcs. Here, this gold is well deserved.
Without proof or anything.
Would it be possible to send a carrier pigeon to Lot Yonan in Yonandar?
Lot Yonan the Magus, certainly. And as you crushed the orcs, I'll waive the fee. Let me send for a scribe.
Thank you, but I can write the message myself. Paper and ink will be sufficient.
The commander nods. You don't blame him for thinking you're illiterate. Very few ordinary folk can read or write. Once the writing materials arrive, you write down a summary of what happened at the meeting of the Alf and the orcs on a tiny piece of paper. A messenger takes the note, nods, and leaves the room.
We must press on. Farewell, Commander Valor.
Kill as many orcs as you can, dwarves. Palandi'll be with you.
Hell yeah. What did I get? Like, how much gold did I get? I wasn't paying attention to what my gold value was. It had to be like 150 or so, though. We have 611 coins in our bag. Our bag must be weighing a ton right now.
While taking a rest, you see a cart trundling along the road not far away from you. A young couple are sitting on the box seat, clearly in love and more interested in each other than the rest of the world around them. The sight reminds you of a long, unanswered question.
So, I was wondering, what do female dwarfs look like?
Pretty. Very pretty.
Uh-huh.
You were expecting a little more information.
Do they have beards?
No, I would say it's more like fluff. Oh, very attractive.
And what do they do? I mean, are they warriors too?
In our kingdom, most take care of domestic life. They take the animals down to the meadows in the valleys, make sure the larders are full and that there's plenty of good beer, and make our clothes.
It only ever causes problems when men and women stand shoulder to shoulder in battle.
Some of them are talented stonemasons and smiths, and beware of insulting their skills. They are no less proud than we are.
By the evening campfire, Boindil rummages around in his rucksack and pulls out a cheese wrapped in a cloth. He sticks a fist-sized piece on a spit and grills it on the fire.
There's nothing better than grilled cheese at the end of a long day.
The smell it gives off makes you hold your breath.
Oh, it smells like my socks after weeks of marching in my boots.
Oh, picky, are you? Hardly surprising, considering you were brought up by humans. It's ruined your taste.
Boindil holds the stinky cheese at the end of the stick under your nose.
Eat, and stop complaining.
You pull the warm piece of cheese from the stick. It tastes dreadful. Your fingers will smell of it for the next few days, and probably your mouth will too. You arrive at a crossroads with a tavern on the corner. A warm light is emanating from its window, lighting up the road around it. A stone sculpture of a sheep stands in front of the door, and above it a sign, swaying gently in the breeze, reads, "The Stone Sheep."
I will stay where I am and observe my surroundings.
You observe the surroundings, but the road is empty, and no one leaves the tavern. You notice a broken window on the first floor, which has been boarded up with planks. Something wet drips onto your nose, and you look up to the cloudy sky with a bad-tempered expression.
Why are we standing here and just getting wet from the outside?
You enter the tavern with a determined stride, and are greeted by a thick wall of pipe smoke. The dozen or so drinkers at the tables turn towards you, then give each other astonished and slightly worried looks. You walk to the nearest empty table with the twins in tow and sit down. The landlord comes out from behind the bar.
What can I get you?
You hear surly muttering from one of the tables.
What are groundlings doing showing their faces here, now of all times?
There's a famulus and a mercenary. Show me what you have for sale. Rooms for the night. You know what? Let's call these bitches out.
You turn to the guest who'd muttered something about groundlings.
And why is it so strange that we're here?
The man glances up briefly, and then stares drunkenly at his tankard, and mutters with a slur,
Don't play the innocent. The orcs are terrorizing our lands. And whose fault is it? You let them in.
I was not at the stone gateway, and I don't know what happened. But you can be sure of one thing. Dwarves would never cooperate with orcs. We kill them no sooner than we say them, or my name isn't Boindil Doubleblade.
The drunkard and his neighbour are given a start. They mumble an apology and turn their attention to the beer in front of them.
I will ask about travelers.
Did two travelers pass this way? One was a famulus, the other a mercenary.
The landlord shakes his head indifferently and mumbles something incoherently. One of the guests is about to say something, but shuts up when the person next to him gives him a poke. You turn to the guest who is silenced.
Were you going to say something, my friend?
I'm not your friend, and I wasn't going to say anything either.
The man glances at his neighbour and then turns his attention back to his beer.
A round of ale on me.
You stand up and turn to the room.
This round's on me.
The faces of the guests and the landlord brighten up immediately. The landlord gets to work pulling everyone a beer and handing out the tankards. Some of the guests say cheers to you as they get their drinks.
There we go.
Come on now, tell us what happened. We're all friends here.
The man who was going to speak the first time round looks over to his neighbour, who nods.
Two travellers spent the night here. One had a robe on, the other was a mercenary. The next day they left, all in a hurry. Said they'd been attacked by an elf.
One of the other drinkers finds his voice too.
There was a hell of a lot of noise that night. As if there'd been a dust-up.
You left some gold here for the trouble. I thought they meant the noise, but then I noticed the broken window.
The landlord sighs.
Please don't tell anyone else about this. Who will want to spend a night in a tavern where an elf has been sighted?
What do you have for sale? Gotta have something, right? We got healing potions, we got... Okay. Probably snag a healing potion, because why not? Then we'll confirm that and we'll be on our way.
Boindeal's loud protestations about wanting another drink. You say goodbye and set off on your way, accompanied by the twins.
And that was that. My name is Splattercat. This is The Dwarves. If you want to get the game for yourself, you should definitely check down below, because that's the place where you're going to get it. Splat gonna give it to you. Anyways, I will see you all in the next episodes. Thanks for stopping on in. How you do, everybody? Farewell.